Hello and welcome to Digi8.com. In this video, we are going to cover the topic on compassion. Now let's start with the definition of compassion. Compassion encourages one to assist in the emotional, mental or physical troubles of other people and themselves. Compassion is about being sensitive. This is the emotional side of pain. One could link it to rationality when centered on mental ideas like interdependence, justice and fairness. One might think being compassionate comes from a robust judgment of the solution. Compassion comes from Latin. It implies co-suffering. Moving on, one has to feel someone else's emotion to be compassionate. It is what is needed for empathy. Empathy is the ability to feel for someone else with more proactive compassion and center one's actions around them. In daily language, compassion means to try and get rid of someone else's pain. It requires one to be emotionally affected by others' pain. They must feel the need to get rid of it or to avoid it. Compassionate action is determined by being helpful. Compassion, it needs determination, affection, perseverance, kindness, tolerance, and enlightenment. Compassion and sympathy are not the same. The first one is a reaction with care and warmth. The second one, that is sympathy, is a reaction to pain from sadness. Moving on to compassion and psychology. Compassion is linked to and studied in the areas of social and positive psychology. It is how someone forms a bond with another by relating to them. Relating to other people by being compassionate can encourage someone to try and get rid of someone else's pain. Compassion is a superior form of harmony amongst an internal triple grid system, that is, contentment and peace system, goals and drive system, and threat and safety system. Compassion is related to significant psychological results. It can help to gain more control of their feelings and being mindful. Now let's look at the benefits of compassion. First, compassion encourages social bonding between kids and adults. These bonds are needed for human functioning that can adapt. This is because it is connected to greater well-being, empathy, self-respect, and interpersonal orientation. Compassion is connected to greater happiness and a better life. Compassionate love can make it likelier for patients to live. This is true when also taking into account social support and addiction. When doctors show compassion, it makes patients less anxious. A proven hopeful therapeutic approach is compassion-focused theory. It is suitable especially for those who are incredibly self-critical due to affective disorders. Compassion encourages positive parenting. It develops the bond between parent and child. In classrooms, it makes students likely to cooperate and improves the capacity to educate. When used in service activity, it can make someone's health better and improve volunteer work. Self-compassion can improve many mental aspects. It decreases PTSD symptoms and other type of psychopathology. It is related to many facets of well-being. Now moving on to compassion fatigue. Those who can empathize with someone else on a greater level can get stress, or also called as compassion fatigue. This involves people and professionals that spend a considerable period of time reacting to updates about pain and sorrow. Reichert and Singer have carried out recent studies. They indicate that when distress tolerance is not present, it tires people out when engaging in compassionate actions. People can get rid of sadness and suffering by taking care of themselves frequently. When someone is more conscious, it can help people understand the influence that previous events have had. Maintaining a diary, having a sleep schedule, bonding with the community, having a healthy diet, maintaining positive relationships, exercising would help. Moving on to self-compassion. This is a way of being kind to oneself. One comes to terms with the fact that suffering exists in all humans. It has a good impact on extroversion, agreeableness, curiosity, knowledge, optimism, and subjective happiness. Christopher Germer and Kristen Neff had isolated 3 types of activities which are hurdles for self-compassion. These are self-absorption, self-isolation, and self-criticism. For them, these are the same as freeze, flight, and fight reactions. How a child is raised influences its self-compassion. A harmonious family, secure attachment, and mother's support foster an environment that encourages self-compassion. At the same time, some personal fable or developmental detriments can deter self-compassion in kids. And finally, let's see how to be more compassionate. First, kindness towards oneself. Human beings have their weaknesses and they err. Self-hate and pondering do not help anyone. Coping mechanisms and self-forgiveness aids one's journey ahead in a better way. Next, one can take up Buddhism. Buddhism aims to improve one's compassion, wisdom and kindness. Eventually, one reaches enlightenment and happiness. Next, be grateful. Thinking over what one can be grateful for encourages compassion for the needy. Next, not be judgmental. One can never know what made a person what they are or brought them to where they are. One does not know how they would react if they were put into that scenario. Finding out what is similar encourages compassion and empathy with that person. And finally, be benevolent. Stepping out of comfort zone and assisting people helps improve compassion. One can do service work to assist communities, animals, and people. Being altruistic also helps the persons themselves as it increases their welfare and self-esteem. So that's it, folks. This brings an end to the topic on compassion. These are some of the sources and links referred to for the content in the video. Thank you and see you in the next video.